So I'm just happening to stop by a Goodwill to do a little thrift store shopping to see what's on the shelves, see if I find any inspirations, anything that I might be able to make over. And I've actually been looking for a straw hat like this to do a makeover from an inspiration that I saw at a recent auction. Though I didn't buy the item, I wanted to take a picture of it so I could reproduce it. And lo and behold, there's that straw hat, and this was my inspiration. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you have landed on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I love to take secondhand finds, pre-loved items, and share the process with you, how I give these items new life. So as a crafter, a DIYer, a picker, one who loves the adventure of a good hunt, I had seen an item at an auction and I was so like, I'm not going to bid on that. I'm not going to get that because I think I can recreate it. So I did snap a picture of it and I thought, okay, now the hunt is on. The hunt is on to find the item to make it. I already had the IOD sunflower molds, but I needed this item. Okay, so here's my two little hats. I have this little one because I thought how fun, I found this one first and I thought, you know, how fun to make just a little version. And then I have this one that I'm like, oh, that is so cool. But I need to do some type of a stiffener on it first. Yeah, because it's really kind of floppy. This one's not so bad, but I definitely wanted to get these stiffened up. So I've seen a product called liquid stiffener, and I'm not really sure, as if I think I want it harder than what like a stiffened hat would be, then I think I'm going to go ahead and use some liquid starch. So we'll see if that works. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get this stiffened up. See if I can get this to lay down. The fibers will stretch out a little bit better. Yeah, so let's see what I can do with it. So let's read the directions here. I think it's like, where's my directions? Directions, easy to use. Shake well, mix enough solution to cover the garment. Soak the garment in solution, allow the solution to penetrate the fabric. Wring out the excess starch, and then, oh, set iron. I guess you can heat it up, but I'm probably going to be like I did those ghost right before, or like I did the ghost before Halloween, that I'll just let them air dry. So I know that there's some kind of a mixture of water. There we go. So I probably want mix half and half. So I'm going to do a half and half mixture to do a heavy starch on this. So this is nice. Since I want to actually do some air dry clay to add the flour to it, that I want this to be nice and strong. Okay, so for the heavy one, I do a 1-to-1 mixture. Extra heavy, you don't do any. So I'm going to do 1 cup of water. This is going to take a lot, isn't it? I don't know. I probably didn't need that much. I don't know. It'll be okay. I thrifted it, so maybe my ratio might be a little off. I don't know if... Put gloves on, I feel like it's going to be a little bit on the messy side. So, I'm going to lay down some waxed paper on some boards. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start off with this little guy. I don't want the ribbon on this. I can add a ribbon if I want it. So I want to cut that out. There we go. Take the Goodwill tag off. Okay. So now I'm just going to immerse this, let it get into the fabric. squeeze out the excess. So really it just feels like it's wet. So my main concern is getting that brim to lay flat. Okay, got that one. Now we have this one. I don't need this string either. Oh, of course it's attached. Where's my scissors? Oop, I put that in the solution anyway. The Goodwill tag. Okay. Into the solution it goes. Not an easy. That's I probably, I knew that I needed to mix up quite a bit for this bigger hat. But I need to make sure that the fibers are just try to. Oh, it's got like a little wire in there. Okay, set that off to the side. Pull my board over. Are we inside out? No. Okay, so now I need to fluff everything kind of back up. So I took it off the board because it was a little bit bigger than the board. That way my edges were staying down. So luckily I do have a fan that I can turn on. I don't know how long these will take to dry, if it'll take all day, if it'll take an hour, if it'll take overnight. Who knows? We'll find out. So I actually let them sit for actually a couple days just the way that my timing was. So they are good and dry and they are stiffened up. Not like hard as a rock stiff, but not floppy like the hat was before. So I am using the IOD sunflower molds, which I know it's not really sunflower season, but once you get inspiration and your mind just wants you to do this project, you just have to do it. So I'm just going to be using just some air dry clay to make these beautiful, the sunflower molds from IOD have to be my favorites. Well, I don't know if there is a bigger like mold that IOD has or not, but I know the sunflower one is a large one. The detail in it is well worth how much clay you have to use to fill it, but I want to make sure that I get it level. I want to make sure that there's not a hump in the middle or anything like that, so I'm really trying to press it down and get it into that mold and get all those detailed petal edges. If you have yet to have the privilege of using one of the IOD molds yet, oh, they are just awesome. The detail in them are amazing, but I use a little bit of baking soda just as a release agent to be able to get the clay out once I get it to the level that I need it to be. And then they have this nice cut edge. It's a little bit raised on the edge where it just, when you like push your finger on that clay, it just gives that nice crisp edge. And this is where that baking soda comes in handy because now I can just flop it over. I like to put it on a little bit of wax paper. It makes it easier to grab and work with. And you can use like a Cricut picking tool or a Dollar Tree. You can get these at the Dollar Tree also just to clean up any edges if you need to. But not only am I going to make a couple of the sunflowers, I need to make some of the leaves also. So all that extra that I took off from what I was making the sunflower, I can use, yet it's not dried up yet, so I can use it and makes a few leaves. I have all my molds made. My hat is stiff. It's not, like I said, it's not hard as a rock, like stiff, but it's definitely a lot stiffer. So I think that 1-to-1 ratio worked out perfectly. So now I'm going to start attaching the molds, and I'm just going to use some Quick and Thick glue to adhere this. Quick and Thick is like a tight bond product. It's a lot of times made for woodworking, but I really like it for other things like molds like this. Now I have it in one of the applicator bottles that kind of like gravity forced now, but Quick and Thick is a little bit thicker, so you do have to push on that. It doesn't come running out, but I find transferring it over to this bottle is a little bit easier than the bottle that it does come into because it is so thick, but the dry time is amazing. So it is a product that usually within an hour it has set up. The molds won't be set up by the time the glue is dry. Applying that glue, I'm really trying to make sure that I get it on all those petals all the way to the end, and this is where that wax paper comes in a little bit of handy because I can lift it up and get that mold to move. Now I want to make sure that all my pieces and parts are pushed down, so I wanted to make sure I had a generous amount of glue on, but not so much glue that it's pushing out the sides, making a mess. But I made sure that I got all the petals, those little tips with a lot of the glue on. So that little spreader brush works. Of course, you can always use your finger also, but my main purpose right now before these start to dry, the air dry starts to dry, is that I need just to get them on and then I can tweak them a little bit once they're on. Felt like I needed a couple more leaves, maybe like a half leaf, so I'm just going back to that sunflower mold and making a couple of those just to stick here and there where I feel like they need to be. The sunflower molds were much too big for this little hat, so I'm going to the primitive molds, still by IOD. Going to just use some of my recycled baking soda. I mean, all you're doing is dusting there. So not only do I want to do a few of the flowers and a few of the leaves also, so I'll just go ahead and dust while I'm dusting. I told you all that detail is amazing. It's actually pretty just as is. So I'm just tapping every area down, making sure that it's not like unadhered or anything like that. If I need to add a little bit of glue, because now I need to walk away and just let the air dry clay dry. I know there's resins and there's fast dry clays or anything like that, but I just like the workability and being able to play with air dry clay. So yep, 2 days later, I finally went back to this project, making sure that everything was dry. I took that inner circle, like the headband, out of the straw hat. I don't know why I left it in there when I starched it. I didn't even think about it. But to paint this, I'm just going to go ahead and use some of the Wick Fusions paint. It's paint, primer, top coat all in one, and I know I'm going to start off with my bottom first, and it's going to seep right through this little sun hat, but I just want to get a base of this woodwork on. know my inspiration was probably just left as is. It had some detail of wax, but I don't know. The thing that I love about sunflowers is the color, and I love actually painting on these sunflower molds. So I can't help myself. I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing to add some color bring them alive. So dry brushing just a little bit of paint on there, and I'll link all the paints if you're interested from Fusions down in the description below what I'm using. I'm going to be layering multi colors on top of each other, working while it's still semi wet with the same brush just to give it that faded, really natural look to these petals. So I hope that you enjoyed watching me paint as much as I loved painting these. Made me feel like Bob Ross. So I know, like, now that they're painted, I almost wish I would have done a smaller one just for a third element, but I'm not adding another piece to it. Oh my gosh, this is just absolutely a fun project. It's fun to make. It is beautiful. Oh, and now it's just something that just sits on a shelf or hangs on a hook, but it is gorgeous. So I'm just using a little of the Fusion's aging wax just to give it a little bit more dimension. Just a little, not anything too, I don't want it to take away at all, but it just gives it that little bit of an aged look. And I'll run a little bit over the flowers too, just to blend everything all in. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and what did you think? Do you love the thrill of a good hunt? Are you inspired to go searching once you've seen a craft, the inspiration, you're just like, oh, I have to find the items to make this. And I was so excited when I ran into that Goodwill, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for that type of hat. So give me a quick comment down below. Have I inspired you to go out thrifting, to follow, to do that hunt of finding items that you can make over? So again, thanks for watching today's video, and always let me know if I have inspired you in any way. And if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.